This video will be part of the Music Cares Tributes playlist and can also be found in the Tribute Concerts playlist. This video is also being pre-shot for publication tomorrow at 8 a.m.
This video is dedicated to the memory of David Crosby, 1941 to 2023. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to go ahead and continue the week of reviews with our look at the Music Cares tribute to Neil Young, which was he was honored in 2010, just as he had released his album Le Noise. And let me give you a little backstory on what Music Cares is all about. It is my understanding that Music Cares was founded to help destitute or musicians that have fallen on hard times. I think they were heavily involved uh, in uh, recovery of musicians that were affected by Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. And every year they um, honor a musician that has basically given of their time uh, to various charitable causes and done a tremendous amount for the music community. And in 2010, Neil was the recipient of their um, Person of the Year award. And every year, also, they put on tribute concerts to the Person of the Year. And that's what this is. Uh, and in 2010, the lineup of artists that came out to pay that paid tribute to Neil include um, his old buddy James Taylor, his somewhat new buddy Dave Matthews, Ben Harper, um, and newer groups such as I believe Lady Antebellum, or no, um, um, Keith Urban and John Fogerty, and many, many more. Some of my favorites, the only thing that I don't particularly care for in regards to the tribute is that there is there is very little. With some of the musical arrangements, there is very little thought that goes into went into some of these musical arrangements. The majority, while the house band is stellar, uh, the majority of the the majority of the arrangements are just copped from the record. Um, and by the way, the house band includes such stellar musicians as Kenny Aronoff on drums and Don Was on bass. And well, there are some artists that take creative liberties with their arrangements. The house band just is basically copying from the records, to use one of Neil's terms. Um, but anyway, and if there's one thing that Neil has always been about, his uh, spontaneity in his arrangements and stuff. He never plays the song the same way twice. Um, but uh, on to um, on to my favorites. Uh, Chief among those are is a song that Neil first tried to attempt to record with Crosby, Stills and Nash back in 1974, called "Human Highway," and uh, Crosby, Stills and Nash uh, pay tribute to Neil at this with a rendition of "Human Highway," and it is tremendous as always with them. And another unexpected favorite of mine, another favorite of mine that I really like is Ben Harper's version of Ohio. He he does it in kind of almost like a blues type arrangement, and actually it puts me in mind of uh, it reminds me of how David Lindley would do it if he covered the song, because there's a lot of slide guitar work uh, in this arrangement of Ohio. And another one of my favorites is, of course, Keith Urban and John Fogerty's version of "Rockin' in a Free World." Um, and that is an example of they are somewhat copying to the arrangement. They are somewhat aping the arrangement of the original record, but it is still tremendous. And another one of my favorites is James Taylor's version of a song that he actually played on with Neil back in '72 from Harvest, or he actually sang on the original with Neil and Linda Ronstadt, "Heart of Gold," and he, as with all of uh, James's performances, whether his own songs or somebody else's, it is just tremendous. I mean, the guy can't go wrong. He can't do anything wrong. I mean, everything he touches turns to magic. And so, um, but another one of my favorites that kind of surprised me, that I don't know the name of the band, or I forgot the name of the band, was Revolution Blues from On the Beach. Now, like I said a second ago, I forgot the name of the band, but they do a tremendous job of um, of Revolution Blues, and that's one thing that I might add is that um, I was I was quite surprised that, because at most tribute concerts, the artists normally go for just the artists that are paying tribute to the honoree, mainly go for the hits, and it wasn't the case here. I mean, there were deep um, some deep cut performances, like Revolution Blues, and Wilco's version of Broken Arrow is pretty good too. Um, but but my absolute favorite on here was the song that I believe closed the 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 tribute concert was Leon Russell, Elton John, and Sheryl Crow's version of "Helpless." I mean, it almost made me cry. That's how good it was, and they are. Um, it's a case of they are being very creative with the arrangement. And to me, those three were the perfect uh, grouping of musicians to cover that song. It was tremendous. And so I hope you enjoy this.